Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner Classic, Non-Classic. This is episode number 2764 and Doubleshot number 2658. We're here discussing Superman, Volume 2, issues 45 to 47, Action Comics 655 to 657, and Avengers of Superman 468 to 470, along with Avengers A number 2 and Legion A number 1. First up, we have Superman, Volume 2, number 45. That's the first one to start off here. Yeah, we're getting very close to start up the Triangle era. Yes. Yeah. Now, Superman, this issue here is written and drawn by Jerry Ordway. Mostly put it Superman going to visit the Kents and deal with a Native American thing in this issue. It's okay. Love the artwork, though. Yeah, I love the Jerry Ordway artwork. This issue also has a backup story in here for Jimmy Olsen. It's basically Jimmy recapping how he first met Superman. That's kind of what this issue is. Yeah. It's just basically all about Jimmy's history with Superman. Alright, and next up we have is Avengers of Superman, number 468, because that's the next appearance of Superman. This issue is written by Dan Jurgens. Yeah. Meanwhile, at L.E.G.I.O.N, somebody is basically breaking into stuff. We have Superman going swimming at the camp farm. This issue is called The Outcast. And of course, it's written and drawn by Dan Jurgens, with finishes by Art Tybert. So yeah, he flies back to Metropolis. What's up here with NASA? Mike, and this is a bit of a recap of the Excalibur mission. There's a robot basically that was Harlem. Yes. Those of you curious about the Excalibur mission, it was a failed space shuttle. Basically what it was John Byrne doing a take on the Fantastic Four and Superman comics, and later, Hank Henshaw becoming the cyborg Superman. Yep. So yeah, Superman deals with a robot in this issue. Goes around and has some stuff at the Forge of Solitude. Really good stuff here. And then we have this backup story in here. Well, actually, the backup feature's not here. Next up, basically, is Action Comics, number 655. If I can get to it here. There it is. Action Comics, which of course is a backup feature featuring the album of Ma Kent. Come on, get back there, please. Thank you. For Ma Kent's photo album. This issue is written by Roger Stern. Yes, Roger Stern writes this one. This one involves basically Lois go investigate some smugglers, and Superman's like, "Oh, gotta do the whole. This is a job for Superman." Sneaks off. Yep. Yeah, written by Roger Stern, artwork by Bob McLean, Brent Beending. Yep. Love this artwork here. It's so awesome. Yep. I'm sure my friend Tivy loves back and viewing some old school Superman. Yep. So, we have sort of a raid going on here with this blonde woman who's with Jimmy here. And with a guy that looks like maybe Jimmy's brother, whatever. And Clark goes to see these people. Just this is like passing along, and of course we see some stuff here with Lois. She breaks into a facility, which is run by It's a military facility. Oh, Armageddon. And of course, basically, they start shunning each other. And no, this is not basically. Generally, this is somebody else. And of course, Superman saves her. Yep. It's like Superman find the military this issue, and apparently, what Lois uncovered, apparently they can't publish it because it's top secret. And Lois like, Chief, I risked my neck to uncover the party behind those munition thefts. Don't tell me the stories that killed because the army wants to cover its collective behind. It's not like that, Lois. Thanks to your work, the army no longer denies the thefts. But Colonel Bugger says there is a security matter in the mix. Security. Correct, Mr. Lane. Habit is an offshoot of classified project. It must keep secret as possible. Yeah, basically it's all with Project Cadmus. So here's Cadmus Project. It's Project Cadmus. I'm not sure why they referred it backwards for. So of course you feel free to write your story about Morrison's surveillance and the thefts, as long as the habit is not mentioned in their photos in the area. So yeah, of course meets up with Lois, meets up with Clark, and of course they go smack in the cheek. And we go see Clark's album. And then talk about Superman. And then next up is basically we cut back over to Superman number 46. Come on, seriously. Back up. Oh my god, seriously. Okay. Try this again. There you go. Okay. Yeah, Dan Jorgens does the artwork for issue number 46. This is mostly called World of Tomorrow. Written and drawn by Jerry Ordway, who's also the co-anchor of this issue, with Dan Jurgens on the artwork. Yep. It's basically Clark and Lois in a western town. And we have guest appearance here by the children of Green Lantern. Well, Alan Scott, Green Lantern, Obsidian, and Jade. And of course, they have a brief mention of Infinity Incorporated, which has been disbanded prior to this. Always great to see these two guys. My only guess is the reason why Jerry Orwell included them as a guest appearance because I think he helped co-write. I think he helped did the artwork for Infinity Incorporated, I believe. So yes. So. And then for some reason, the colorist forgets that Jade is supposed to be green, and they color her purple for some pages. I'm like, yeah, it's a weird color palette. People will change colors for no reason, and of course, they just make their role later. And we have basically what we would draw, and of course, he survives. You're thinking, okay, basically with a re-sync with Josh Williams, oh, that was the first thing with Western Town? No. This time here. You well before that. Great guest appearance with two of them, and then we'll lead into Adventures of Superman number 469. Well, this issue's called Overload. Yeah, it's basically Lois are making out in front of fireworks. It's just called Nasty Boys. Written and drawn by Dan Jurgens, art by Art Tubbett. Yeah, it's basically Clark visiting his parents, fighting some aliens. It's an all-around really action-packed issue. Let's Perry and his son. Well, actually, one of his sons, anyways. Yeah. Fights this alien. Actually, this alien is actually Kilowog. Yeah, he runs the freaking I think it's Kilowog. No, it's not Kilowog. I think it's supposed to be. Some alien stuff here, and then some other stuff here. People being attacked, stuff with Jimmy. And then we go into we go to Action Comics. Number 656. There you go. Yep. Where we begin the Soul Search story arc, which starts in this very issue, Action Comics 656. This is where it starts with. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And it's something that these issues are they're not terrible issues. It's just that I don't really get a why they're not collecting a trade for it. Just kind of weird. Mm-hmm. In this story, I'm taking on Blaze. Gretchen Kelly's in the story, along with Lex Luthor. Gretchen Kelly, it's basically Lex Luthor's position. Who's continuing appearing here as a supporting character. Basically, after this person skips next few issues. Mm-hmm. Blaze, of course, I think is a demon. Yeah, it's basically like, oh, it's the daughter of the Wizard Shazam. Yeah, and this is a three-parter that kind of, well, Action Comics 655 introduces her, and this leads into this three-part story with her. Yeah. That continues on part 2 is basically in Superman, volume 247. That's where part 2 is. Yep. Continue to Blaze there. We're also with Skyhook. Yes, a demon named Skyhook, who last appeared in issue 34 of the book. And of course, the story concludes in Adventure Superman 470. That's where it concludes. Mm-hmm. Where sadly put at the end of the three-parter, Perry White's son, Perry White Jr., dies. Well, actually, it was his stepson. Yeah. Because it's revealed that this kid is not actually Lex's son. Basically, it's... Yeah, and then, of course, basically, it gets parents by New God's Black Race who takes him to heaven. Really interesting multi-part. I really enjoyed it. But next, just before we end this video here, we have an anime to discuss here. What anime was that? Why, it's Adventure Superman A number 2. First one released in 3 years. It's a crossover between this book and Legion A number 1. Yeah, it's basically... Well, it deals with... It's a two-part involving Brainiac. And involving also that Brainiac basically trying to turn Legion... against his son, Valdox. And there's also mention about... not that one. Where Phase, where like, oh, she got pregnant. I think it was her. It wasn't Phase. It was Stealth. Yeah, Stealth got pregnant and like, oh, they want to abort the child. Maybe because the fact that she raped Valdox because she basically went into mating season. Yep, she did. Yeah. I may talk about basically like I may talk about more about Legion later. Oh, in case you're curious, who writes the Adventure Superman annual? It is Dan Jurgens does the writing here with Bob McLean, Kurt Swan, and Kerry McKemmel on the artwork. The Legion annual, which is the first annual of this series of release. This is written by Alan Grant, art by Jim Byrne, and this picks up right where the second annual of Adventure Superman left off. Yep. And in case you're curious, though, how many annuals did the Legion series have? 5, and this was the very first one. If you ever get a chance to read a Legion book, it is absolutely an amazing book. This book I'm basically thinking of reviewing in the future because it's a damn good series. And here's the sad thing about this book. There are no issues in trade. Volume 2 Rebels is in trade. Legion Volume 1 is not. Do not know the reason for it. It is weird. Yeah, I find that kind of odd. Rebels Volume 2, oh, that's in trade. But is Legion Volume 1 in trade? No. By the way, in case you're curious, why is there Rebels Volume 2 and not a Legion Volume 2? Well, according to Edward Art, it was supposed to be called Legion. But apparently he was told no, so he called it Rebels instead. Despite the fact it's a Legion book. Yep. Not much to say about these books. Pretty good. Really good set of issues. So, the next time talk about this book will basically be talk about some we'll talk about Superman. It'll be a trade for Superman. Yep. Now, why did I stop with these particular issues? Like when I stopped with Adventure Superman 570, Action Comics 657, and Superman Volume 247, because the next 3 issues for these particular these issues series here, I've discussed before, in the Power Within trade. Yes, which contained the entire Superman feature from Action Comics. Weekly, from 601 to 642. Yeah, that's why I pretty much discussed those issues already. That's why I decided to skip these 3 issues. So at this point, for Action Comics, in a row, I've got done from issues 583 to 658, Superman Volume 2, 1 through 48, Adventures of Superman, 424 to 471. Next time, we're discussing more of this stuff here. Yeah, basically, there's a trade that's next to discuss here, and that would be Crisis of Crimson Kryptonite. Yes, this will be the next thing to discuss here with this one. Yep, that'll be the next official trade to discuss. Yes. I'm very much looking forward to discussing that one. And I will still continue the thing of, like, reviewing the in-between stuff. Yes, I will be continuing that. But, you'll find out later when it comes to that stuff, okay? So, yeah, that's a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. More Super Sentai next, okay? Next video. Bye.